So you're thinking of moving to Lake Keowee in upstate South Carolina. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons maybe you should pump the brakes and reconsider making a move. Hi, it's Eric with eXp Realty here at the Mountain Lakes office. If this is your first time on the channel and you would like to be kept up to date on what it's like to live, work, and play at Lake Keowee in upstate South Carolina, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions along the way, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, or drop me an email. I would love to talk. So let's jump in and talk about some of the reasons you might not want to move to Lake Keowee. At number 6 on the list are termites. Yes, we're in the South, and that's something you have to consider before you make the move. If you're planning on settling down, be prepared to invest in a termite bond to safeguard your home. And it's not just termites. We've got our fair share of other creepy crawlies too. It's practically a rite of passage to have an exterminator swing by your home on a quarterly basis to keep them at bay. It's all part of the charm of living in this picturesque area, but it's definitely something to keep in mind before making a move. Number 5 on the list is the weather. If you're accustomed to the relatively mild summers of the Northeast or Midwest, brace yourself for July and August in upstate South Carolina. It's not exactly a picnic. We're talking about a hot season that stretches for about 3.7 months from late May to mid-September, with average highs soaring above 83 degrees. July takes the cake as the hottest month, with highs averaging around 90 degrees and lows 71 degrees. And let's not forget about the humidity. It's no joke. During this time, while it might not be as intense as what you would find on the coastal areas of South Carolina and parts of Florida, it's still something to reckon with. But hey, on the bright side, at least we don't have to deal with hurricanes or alligators in the upstate. So next up at number 4, we have something to consider if you're a big city enthusiast. If you thrive on the hustle and bustle of a sprawling metropolis, South Carolina might not quite scratch that itch for you. Even our largest cities like Greenville, Columbia, or Charleston, while charming in their own right, are pretty small potatoes compared to cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, or Miami. It's all about that slower, more laid-back pace here. So if you're all about that fast lane, you might find yourself tapping the brakes here a bit in South Carolina. All right, let's talk about the number 3 reason why South Carolina might not be your dream destination. It's pollen. Now, if you're someone who suffers from allergies, especially during the springtime, you might want to think twice about setting up camp here in the upstate of South Carolina. Trust me, I know the struggle firsthand. Stocking up on allergy meds and nasal sprays becomes a way of life around here. Picture this. For several weeks in the spring, your world turns into a sea of yellow. Everything, and I mean everything, gets coated in pollen dust. And get this, Greenville, just an hour away from Lake Keowee, ranks 10th among the top 20 toughest places to live with pollen allergies. The number 2 reason why you might want to reconsider a move to Lake Keowee in upstate South Carolina is our income tax. Now, if you're eyeing South Carolina as your potential new home and you're coming from places like Florida or Texas where there's no state income tax, well, here's a heads up. South Carolina does indeed have one. It operates pretty much like the federal tax system with rates ranging from 0 to 7%. And you heard that right. You'll be shelling out portions of your hard-earned cash to the state coffers. And finally, the number 1 reason why you might want to pump the brakes on moving to Lake Keowee. So if you've got any qualms about nuclear energy, Lake Keowee is definitely not for you. Here's the scoop. Back in the 60s and early 70s, this picturesque lake was actually constructed to serve as a massive cooling reservoir for Duke Energy's nuclear power plant. Yes, you heard that right. So if the thought of living in close proximity to a nuclear facility doesn't sit well with you, you might want to steer clear of Lake Keowee. If you enjoyed this video and would like to stay up to date on what it's like to live, work, and play at Lake Keowee in upstate South Carolina, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions during your discovery, please give me a call, shoot me a text, or drop me an email. I'm always here to help.